Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, sending me on Twitter the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you into the Let's Play episode of Tennessee, Shoichi's Path. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Please sit back and enjoy for the next 18 minutes we'll entertain you. Let's jump right in. Alarm Chan, you are up, and let's go. Probably gonna be an important episode. Let's see. Shoichi and Saya both laugh under their breath, sharing a fist bump between him back. All the time thinking they're so sneaky between his back. Okay, fine. I choose to ignore it. The umpire quickly called for both players to go to the net and greet each other before flipping the coin to decide who would start with the serve. I can't really make out what they're saying when they're this far, but it seems like Keiken won the toss. Unsurprisingly, at least to some, he chooses to let Yuu serve first. There are a few murmurs among the crowd, and I can even spot the Akita raising an eyebrow at his decision, but those of us who know him can only half-heartedly smile at it. That really is a bad habit of his, isn't it? Normal people would choose to serve themselves. I shake my head, unconsciously letting out a throaty chuckle. Having played against Keiken more times than anyone else, I'm more familiar with that habit of his by now. If he hasn't played against someone much before, he'll let them serve so he can study their habits and come up with a counter strategy to deal with them. And if he has played enough to have their mannerisms and tics memorized, he'll still let them serve first so he can immediately try to break their serve. Let's see. Having your serve broken can be incredibly stressful, especially if it's the very first serve of the match. It sets the pace for the rest of the game and can throw someone majorly out of it. Keiken has a bit of a nasty streak on him, considering how often he'll try to resort to mind games, but I also understand he's just trying to do whatever he can to win. The hare and the Akita take their respective positions in the court. I instinctively hold my breath in anticipation when Yuu raises his head and locks eyes with Keiken while gripping the ball tightly in his hand. Come on, Keiken, you can do this! I close my eyes, putting a hand over my chest and taking a deep breath. For some reason, I feel even more tense about this than I do in my own matches. I just want Keiken to win. A few hours later. Yay! Cheers! We all clink our glasses together as we toast to the end of the second day of the competition. As soon as we got back to the hotel, we made sure to scurry into Keisuke and I's room so we could celebrate and relax together. Jun and Shoichi went out to buy us all food, while the rest of us stuck around to wait and set a table for everyone. Ordinarily, we would have done it in the hotel lobby, but since not everyone managed to survive elimination the second day, we didn't want to seem disrespectful to them. It took a bit under half an hour to have everything ready, but we finally had food and drinks for the whole group. Incidentally, we could have eaten the hotel food, but then there would have been none for Shoichi, Aki, or Jun. You did a great job today, Keiken. Once again, congratulations. Thank you, Yuichi-san. Honestly, you have no idea how relieved I am myself. I can more or less imagine. Watching Keisuke's match already was nerve-wracking. I can't begin to imagine how it must have felt for him playing it. He started off with a strong lead, quickly breaking Yuu's first couple serves and then winning the first set 6-2. However, in true Yuya fashion, the Akita soon started getting used to him and catching up. By the time they got halfway through the second set, the situation was almost completely flipped on its head. In the end, Keiken managed to barely squeeze out a win during the third set, finishing the match with a score of 6-2, 6-7, and 7-5. I could barely even breathe during the last game, and I ended up screaming myself hoarse when Keisuke scored the winning point. The two shared a few words at the end of the match before Yuu slinked away looking dejected. It was quite telling that he didn't even bother coming up to us to chat after the match. I'm sure he wasn't expecting that kind of result, so I can understand. Not that I imagined that keeping him down for too long, though. He just doesn't seem the type to. My ears are still ringing from how loudly we cheered at the end there. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Sorry about your ears, though. It's all good. It feels like a fair trade-off. Keisuke chuckles. We all share food and drinks while chatting idly about whatever topic comes to mind. Of course, most of it ends up being about the competition. What matches we enjoyed the most, what we're looking forward to, what our opinion on events so far is, that kind of thing. My meeting with Tanabe-kun ends up being brought in passing, but I thankfully managed to change the subject before long. The sushi that Shoichi brought up for everyone ended up being pretty high quality, to the point that a few of us felt bad and wanted to pay him back, but he insisted on having it to be his treat. I'm just glad Keiken didn't get eliminated. It would have felt really awkward sleeping tonight if he did, even if he decided to stick around. I know, right? It would suck to have to go to bed alone after rooming together for 2 nights. As soon as I hear Saya's reaction, I realize that I screwed up. Keiken and I exchange a look as he silently pities me. Or I at least assume that's pity in his eyes. Hayota and 2 of the girls got eliminated during the third round, while the last of the girls, Ayane, got eliminated during the quarterfinals. 1 second, y'all. I need some water. Wet my whistle. Okay. For Keisuke and I, surviving so far meant the last meant at least the two of us would see the last day of the competition together, even if one of us is bound to be eliminated tomorrow morning during the semifinal. For Saya, however, she'll be sleeping alone in her room thanks to the eliminated girls deciding they didn't want to stick around. It's not uncommon to have eliminated players head home early instead of sticking around. It can be quite demoralizing to stay and watch your friends play when you yourself can't. But it still feels a little cold that out of the four of them, no one wanted to stay. They could at least have stayed to cheer. Maybe they just chose not to stay the night, but will show up tomorrow to watch? I doubt it. Apparently, Saya's roommate stopped her on her way upstairs to let her know that she would be packing her stuff and taking the train home as soon as she could. I guess that's one of the upsides of team sports. Presumably, you and your friends are all on the same team. You either make it or break it together. If you get eliminated, everyone goes home together. No one gets left behind. I guess. We'll still be here to cheer you up tomorrow, Sayani. Thanks, Aki-chan. That makes me feel a little better. Do you think they already left? Probably. We don't exactly bring much stuff up with us on trips. It doesn't take long to pack up. Somehow hearing that coming from the person that brought an almost overwhelming number of bags feels at least a little bit off. I kind of feel bad for mentioning that I'll have to leave soon. Feels like a bad time to say it, but it's true. It's fine. I get that it's getting late. Counterpoint, if time was such an issue, maybe you shouldn't have gone out for sushi. Sushi is a good celebration food. I'm not saying that it isn't, but making a large order on the spot, well, it takes a while. You guys were out for a good 40 minutes. If you'd gone to the convenience store and bought a few packaged meals, we could have hung out for at least an extra half hour. Convenience store food for a celebration feels kind of sad, though. It's either time or food. You have to pick one or the other. And Shoichi has a point. It is getting a bit late. It's already dark out and everything. It's not as big of a deal since we already had dinner, so that's one less thing to worry about when getting home, but... Plus, we all got a ride from Shoichi-san this morning. If we don't go back with him, we'll have to take the train. That too. Well, at least it'll help you guys clean up before we go. Jun quickly gets up to make his offer, grabbing the empty bags, bottles, cans, and the likes, putting them all in a large empty trash bag that he and Shoichi also brought along with the food to dispose of everything after we were done. I initially praised Shoichi on the foresight when they came back, but was quickly surprised to hear that it had been Jun's idea all along, though I made sure to keep that surprise to myself and apologize for assuming Shoichi was the one to make it. Was the one to think of it. We all pitched in with the cleanup. Thankfully, it doesn't take long since we didn't buy all that much stuff in the first place. Just a couple of minutes and the room is back to how it was before we got here. However, there's a kind of melancholic feeling that comes with it. I guess it always feels like that when you're clearing up after a party, or maybe that's just a me thing, who knows. Come on, let's head downstairs. We'll see you guys out. We will? I was hoping to take a breather. Ow, 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 my ear. Mizuguchi-san. Jeez, how can you be so thick? Saya-chan's intentions had been very clear from the start, yet Keikon seemed to struggle catching on to it. Because of it, she ended up grabbing him by the ear and dragging him along with her while he helped out and protest in vain. I'll give him a break since I imagine he's suffering from all kinds of exhaustion after his match earlier today, but Shoichi and I both share a meaningful look, stifling the urge to laugh. I'll be downstairs in a second. Let me make sure that I didn't forget my wallet or anything important first. Okay. Excuse isn't the best, but it's not like it's needed in the first place. In fact, I'm pretty sure everyone other than Keika, Aki included, knows what's up. But it only feels right to go along with it since Saya-chan went through the trouble of trying to be subtle about it. Soon Shoichi and I are left alone in the room, just as Saya intended. Man, I really hope Urushihara's ear will be okay. I was afraid Saya was going to rip it off. He shouldn't have resisted. I laugh off Shuichi's concern as a pleasant silence washes over the two of us for a moment. I try to think of something to say, even if it's just in an effort to make idle conversation, but it ultimately proves unnecessary. Oh yeah, give him a kiss, baby boy. Shuichi steps toward me until our chests are nearly bumping, looking down at me with his bright green eyes. I wish I could stick around longer. You'd get in trouble. Hell, you still might get in trouble considering you skipped class today to come here in the morning. Heh, that was totally worth it, though. You still think so when your dad is... Ah! Shuichi cut me off mid-sentence, closing the gap between us and planting a kiss on my lips. The words that were stuck in my throat turned into a coo as I quickly let myself sink into that feeling, leaning forward to reciprocate. God, Shuichi! At least give me a warning next time! Oh, he's got a smirk now! And give up my advantage? Never. I playfully smack the husky's chest, gently nudging him away from me in the process as we pull apart. You're a dumbass! I don't see you complaining. How astute! Shuichi chuckles, covering his mouth with his face and shaking his head. Come on, let's head downstairs. It'd be rude to leave everyone waiting for too long, especially after Saya-chan went out of her way to give us some alone time. Yeah, I know. I don't want to, but I know Shoichi can't hang around forever. The two of us head downstairs, holding hands as soon as we realize the hallway is empty and only bothering to separate when we reach the front desk. Saya, Keiken, and I wait outside as we say our farewells to the rest of the group for the night, watching them leave for a bit under the warm summer air before heading back inside. When Keiken and I head to the bath together, I remark somewhat sadly that the place feels a bit lonely tonight. Even if Hayoda-kun was the only other guy in our group, the knowledge that everyone said the three of us was eliminated is enough to make the place feel a lot quieter than usual. Oh, man! Wow! Guys, we have reached the end of the Shoichi build! Oh, man! We almost made it to 100 episodes before we reached the end of it. Man, that is crazy. Alright. Hey guys, you've reached the current end of the Shoichi build. I hope you've enjoyed what you managed to play so far. As you guys may or may not already know, all development in Tennis Ace is possible thanks to all my amazing patrons and other supporters who make it possible for me to dedicate the time to work on the game as well as commission the art for it. If you haven't already, and if you're able, maybe you can consider to help support us too. Just click here, guys, go support this game. It's incredible. We want more of it. Once again, thank you all, and we'll see each other at the next demo. Oh man, okay. So, I have reached the current end of Shoichi's path. Absolutely insane. I love it. Oh my god, I can't wait to see how his story with Shoichi ends. Oh, I hope there's so much more. I love this game so much. Alright, so y'all, I guess we are going to be heading right to June's path next. Still plenty more tennis ace coming at you. I think I'm going to skip the whole match with Yuya next time. That one took just takes too long. It just takes too long. It's also viewed usually the least. It's like 3 to 4 fucking episodes just for that one particular one particular arc or whatever. But anyway, y'all, yeah, I love our big silly dumb dog boyfriend. Oh, I hope to see more of these two together. They're such a wonderful couple. I guess we're going to be getting to see some of Keiken and June soon, and after that, Haruki. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, y'all, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!